Put Jesus on the front, pray before you go. I'm TG MotoRider. I've been a stuntman on film and television for 30 years. Thank you so much for subscribing. This YouTube channel is growing like an absolute weed internationally and in America, and I seriously want to thank you for that. Thank you to all my subscribers. I'm an everyday rider. I ride year-round, no matter what. As long as it's not a sheet of ice, I'm going. 4th, 5th, 6th. Are you looking for a touring/adventure bike that won't break the bank? I think I got your answer. All right, it's 385 pounds wet. You've got 5.1 inches of travel in the front, 5.8 in the back. Plenty of good suspension travel if you're going over, well, this kind of stuff. With a 57-inch wheelbase, that's 2 inches more than the Kawasaki Versys-X, giving you a little more stability on the highway. Now with the type of spokes you have here, these are not external spokes, so you are looking at inner tubes on the front and back. 38 horsepower, 26 foot-pounds of torque. You've basically got a parallel twin dual overhead cam. You've got 4 valves per cylinder, and you're going to need them all, especially on the highway. Let's see how it does. All right, we're going to stand up on the pegs and take it on this gravel. I'm sure it's going to be fine. And then we're going to take it on the highway and see what that 300cc parallel twin has to say. Hey, let's stand up on the pegs, see what we got going on. We got some good rough gravel over here. Let's go up a second, hop in a second right quick. Oh yeah, especially with the knobbies that the guy put on this thing. So if I were to take this bike and launch it down that boat ramp right over there, and then if I were to hit this button, this bike would actually sink like a stone, which is actually a feature on all new Kawasaki's. Turn signals are not self-canceling. Thank you very much. All right, take it on the highway. See how highway worthy it is. Now it is a light bike. It's only 385 pounds wet, so it's not a particularly windy day, but we'll see what it does. We'll see what it does. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Yeah, the throttle is a little bit anemic, but this bike will not get you into trouble if you're a beginner, especially a tall beginner. Matter of fact, if you're a tall beginner, you're gonna love this thing. Yeah, you're gonna need all 6 of those gears if you want to get on the highway, for sure. All right, this thing tacks out at 15,000 RPMs max. It redlines at 12,000 RPMs. I am currently doing 67 miles an hour, and I am at 8,000 RPMs. We're getting up near the end of that, getting near the end of the power band for sure. It is a very limited power band with those 2 cylinders. Now, on the highway, it's a semi-breezy day, but this bike's not really moving. You're tall, you're way high up, you can see everything very nicely. It's very planted. The rearview mirrors are very functional and good. Throttle, yeah, if you hit it, it takes a few seconds for it to kick in, but yeah, it'll kind of be there for you. I wouldn't be looking to pass anyone in a hurry, not gonna lie to you. But you know what? You are going to average 60 to 80 miles per gallon. Some people were reporting 75 miles per gallon out of this motor. So, 4.5 gallon tank, well, you can do the math on that. So you got at least a 230 mile fuel range before you got to look for a gas station. And in that regard, it is genius. Look into my eye. We're going to take it back down the highway again. All right, let's engine brake. Engine braking is good. Actual brakes, you got 2 pistons on the front, single rotor, 1 piston in the back. With a 100 on the front and a 130 on the back, nice thin tire setup for cutting through gravel and water. It is kind of set up for those fire trails. So this really is a great answer if you don't have a lot of money. Yeah. 0 to 60, not really. Not really a 0 to 60 that you can measure on this thing. The suspension is reasonably good. The suspension is reasonably good, I will say that. You can feel that you've got good suspension travel, so it's not a super bumpy ride, which is nice. But I will say the seat was definitely inspired by a 1955 ironing board. But yeah, I'm getting on the highway. I'm buzzing around. I'm fine. I'm keeping up with traffic. Am I ready to kick it down and get aggressive? Not really. Not with this, I'm not. It's just not really going to be there for you. But that's not, I don't believe that's what this is about. I think this is about giving you the adventure and the touring with a very low sticker price and some surety and reliability and a very good fuel range. And I think when you're talking about it hitting those buttons, it does. It hits every one of those buttons and it hits them in spades. It does very well at that. The 57-inch wheelbase makes it very easy to corner. It is not top heavy at all because, well, it's not heavy at all. 385 pounds, it's just, there's just nothing there. I've had 19 motorcycles. This will not be my 20th. I am returning this. But I will say this, if I was a beginner, a tall beginner, this is an excellent answer because the legroom's amazing. If you're a tall beginner, you're gonna love this thing. Legroom's really good. Shocks are very comfortable. The seat, well, the seat leaves a little to be desired, but you know, you can't have it all for under $4,000 used. I think brand new, these come in around $6,000, $6,500, something like that. And you could probably even negotiate that. Find one 1 or 2 years old, and you know, you got a deal there. The new ones, I'm not sure if ABS is standard or not, but I would recommend the anti-lock brakes if you're going to be taking this across the country, especially if you're going to try to ride it in all weather. Your tire setup is perfect for rain. It's beautiful for rain. It'll cut right through water and cut right through gravel. It's perfect. It is very easy to ride. This is not a difficult bike to ride. It kind of gives you that, even if you're a beginner now and if you've always been afraid of something bigger, you know, like this is definitely not on par with my VFR 1200X Cross Tourer or my V-Strom, but you know what? This is still a really good, capable machine, and it's capable of taking you down fire roads and getting you back in one piece. You know, it's a great little bike. It really is. I don't mean to be over cynical about the anemic throttle. It's a 300cc. You're not going to buy a 300cc because you're trying to win a land speed record. You're buying it for the fuel efficiency, and because maybe you want something that has a throttle that you can control, that won't get all twitchy on you. Maybe you're a new rider and you're not comfortable with something that's got a lot of power. This would be a great bike for you. This would be an excellent bike for you. So something to consider. All right, let's slow maneuver it in here, see how good it is. I already know it's going to be amazing because the wheelbase is it's literally got a 1-inch wheelbase. The front and rear wheel are 1 inch apart. It's a 1-inch wheelbase. It's amazing. All right, let's see what we got here. Let me glide the rear a little bit here. Oh yeah. Oh, this is so easy. Oh, this is so easy to mess with. You will definitely find yourself hitting 6th gear doing about 40 miles an hour, whereas 6th gear on any other bike I've ever had, you know, you don't hit that sucker till later, you know, 50 plus, 55 plus. You'll be doing 45, 6, and it'll be screaming at you, kinda. But all that in consideration, this is still an excellent machine because for what you're getting for the price, you're going to have Kawasaki reliability. It's not terrible on the highway. It's a little anemic. You're not going to be able to do any aggressive stuff or even assertive kind of stuff. You're going to have to play a little more defense, but it's there. It's there. And if you want to go off-road, you definitely can with this setup. So yeah, it gets a B plus in my opinion. B plus. Things I would have done better. I would have given it a little more torque. Maybe make it a 400, maybe a 450, that little bit of extra horsepower. So when you're getting on the highway, I mean, if you're touring, you're going to be on highway and off highway. You want to be able to go anywhere. I would have given it maybe an extra 100 cc's. That probably would have helped. You know, that 38 horsepower, 26 foot-pounds of torque. I mean, once you've got luggage and a passenger, I mean, it's game over. What do you really have? You know, you're stretching that 26 foot-pounds of torque. You're asking an awful lot out of it. So that's my personal opinion about it. I think it could use a little more horsepower. But for what it is and its price point, totally delivers. That's my review of the Kawasaki Versys 300. Remember to put Jesus on the front. Pray before you go. TG MotoRider, signing off.